daily word is strength. Divine strength invigorates my body and quickens my mind. If I feel my energy waning during a time of vigorous physical or mental activity, if my get up and go has got up and gone, I remember these inspiring words from the Prayer of Faith by Hannah Moore Cohouse. God is my strength, unfailing, quick. The strength of God is my strength, and it's more than sufficient to meet my every need. More than brightness, toughness, or forcefulness, spiritual strength is quiet fortitude, a rootedness in the inexhaustible wellspring of the divine. Today, I release all thought of weakness or impossibility. I feel the power of divine strength flowing through me, invigorating my body and bringing renewed clarity to my thoughts. The strength of God is my strength. From 1 Corinthians, for God's foolishness is wiser than human wisdom, and God's weakness is stronger than human strength.
So we're going to dive right into our message this morning as we continue our series that has been inviting us to understand and to unleash and to activate our 12 spiritual powers. We've been using the book Adventures in Resilience by Reverend Sharon Connors as a resource as we go through this series. And throughout the series, I invited you to look and see if you could focus on one particular area in your life where you wanted to bring these powers to their full capacity to support you, whether it was a specific goal that you had or just some way that you wanted to experience life in a more enriched way. I shared at the beginning of this series that I have been working on the goal of releasing 20 pounds that I managed to welcome over the last couple of years. And I took to heart my message last week in remembering that this journey was as much about how I grow, how I evolve, what I discover spiritually as well as emotionally and supporting my body as it was reaching my specific goal. That was my wisdom faculty saying that I was here to get all the riches that this journey had, not just get to the end goal, no matter how quickly or slowly I might be able to achieve that. And my focus has been to keep myself centered in a state of willingness versus willfulness. You know, sometimes we are so focused on getting to the goal that we're unwilling and we just simply are doing whatever is necessary to get to that space. And to open myself to discovering all of God's blessings that are a part of the journey, even those in the struggles and even those in the disappointments. I had suggested last week that there are a number of different tools that might support us in that, and I meant to bring it up here, but pretend I'm holding it in my hand. We just received a 12 Powers card deck that you can use. Maybe if you're seeking guidance about what power you're wanting to activate in your own journey, this deck of cards may be there to support you. And we've got a number of other new things available in the bookstore, so I just encourage you to go and check that out. This week, we are focusing our attention on the powers of order and release. You know, if you hang around New Thought folks for very long, you will probably hear divine order invoked when things seem a little bit chaotic, or people using the phrase, well, it's all in divine order. The author describes this idea of divine order in this way, because I think sometimes we get confused as what that is. She writes this, she says, divine order is to fulfillment and right outcomes as life, or in life, as yeast is to flour for bread. It is the matrix in which the creative process weaves its magic. You can use it like a mantra when you meet challenges and difficulties, confusion, or lack of clarity. A door will open, a solution will be found. This power of order is everywhere present in our natural world, if we will just look around. Even in the midst of what we call natural disasters, floods and hurricanes and tornadoes, fires, which we seem to be experiencing even more of, we can find nature's perfect balance. Fire, for instance, helps balance out unrestrained growth. We've discovered that fire is a natural part of keeping the ecological systems in balance. And when there's global warming, there are events that seem to unfold that support this perfect balance in nature. I think the challenge for us is, from our human lens, life at times appears both random and chaotic rather than orderly. God's will is often the explanation for circumstances that we don't understand, like a child's death or disease or a natural disaster. And yet, we're reminded that God is not some superhuman personality that imposes order. Rather, God is order. God is that organizing principle that is revealed in the pattern and the sequences that's inherent in all of life. We may not always understand how certain events could possibly be called divine order. And yet, when we can use our powers of faith and of strength and of wisdom and understanding, when we can remain rooted in the truth of God's love, we can, at least at times, begin to trust that all is unfolding for our greater good. There's been many events in my life that I would not have called good. And yet, as time has unfolded, I can look back in hindsight and said that was the exact push that I needed. That was the exact disruption of life that was necessary in order for me to say yes to something even greater. Because when we're comfortable, when things are going really well, we typically will not say, let me go stir it all up and try something new. Chaos is often a call and sometimes even a push for evolution. For the evolution of our planet, for the evolution of its people. Or sometimes, as we call it in spiritual circles, transformation. And while it's still difficult for me, many, many years later, to call the losses of my dad and my stepson Trey good, I don't know if I've gotten to that place, don't know if I'll ever get to that place. The experience of going through that pushed me into a deeper awareness and trust in life eternal. I have that solid grounding in such a transformative way that I would have not had I not gone through those experiences. It allowed me to, in many ways, release my fear of death, because I know that there's just the next step in whatever that looks like. These events crystallized my understanding of what will be celebrated at the end of my physical life, and I believe at the end of all of our physical lives, by the Creator. And that is, simply put, it is how much I spiritually grew during my time here and the depth of love that I left in my wake. Reverend Sharon reminds us that just as our bodies absorb the nutrients of what we eat and then releases the rest, the power of divine order absorbs the nutrients of the most helpful ideas and releases the rest. I remember you many times saying, take what serves you right now and leave the rest. And that's okay to do. And when our own mental and emotional digestion is efficient, right action naturally follows. When we can be in that space, then we can begin to understand how divine order can be present. The other power that we're looking at is the one that we're calling release. But as Charles Fillmore, one of our co-founders, originally identified it, it was called renunciation, not a word that you hear very often in our vocabulary today, and others have called it elimination. And this power is a vital aspect of our lives. We know it's true in our physical bodies. I would imagine that most of us have felt how uncomfortable it is when our body is not releasing in a natural and regular way. And it can even be life-threatening if it doesn't get addressed. Our physical health depends on the natural flow of intake, of nourishing, and then releasing the waste in our bodies. So too, at a spiritual level, there is a natural flow of the intaking of new ideas, of new understanding, of new life. And this can only happen when we're willing to release what no longer serves us. If we avoid or refuse to release something that no longer serves us, we can experience spiritual congestion and blockages in our life. The author calls this power of release, and I love this vision of it, a spiritual roto-rooter. It brings up the sludge that needs to be released, whether that's residual unfinished business, unhealed hurts, resentments, unforgiveness, regrets, and probably a list of other things that you might be able to identify. And as we actively release those stuck places, just as it is in our physical bodies, we feel lighter. We feel more energetic. We feel able to move through life with greater flexibility, and in this time and age, greater resilience to whatever life shows up with. And so I just encourage each of us to focus on these powers of divine order and release and see how in our own lives we can be guided into ways that will bring us into greater light and greater love and greater life. So join with me now as we just take a moment and move into a time of meditation. As we breathe into this moment, aware of our bodies, knowing that they are supported, and we can simply relax. Relax into this time and into this place. And as you are aware of that breath flowing in and out of your body, allow that to expand your awareness of the very pulse and energy of life, always moving through us, moving through everything, even in those times when we're not aware that it's unfolding. And as you breathe into this time and space, see if you can bring your attention to behind your navel. This is the center of divine order located in our bodies. Imagine that there is a dark green light emanating from your digestive organs and all of the well-ordered systems in your body. And as you focus on this light, it expands and grows, radiating bringing forth order in your body, mind, and spirit. Allow my words to become yours as you silently affirm. By the power of order, I follow the clear path. I go through the open door. I choose an orderly course of thought and action. I absorb the ideas that bring me greater clarity and understanding. I know that order is present, even in the midst of what appears to be chaos. I allow the dark green light of divine order to saturate my being as I rest for a moment in the silence. Now see if you can shift your attention to the lowest point of your spine. Notice that there is an earth tone light surrounding this center of release. And as you focus on it, it also grows and expands throughout your abdominal cavity, kidneys, liver, and intestines. Affirm these words. I bless and appreciate my body's natural capacity to release toxins that would harm my health. I bless and appreciate my mental capacity to release the past, to drop unhealthy patterns of behavior, to forgive, and to free myself from untrue assumptions and beliefs that disempower me. Release is my spiritual name and nature. I naturally and effortlessly release wasteful thoughts of unworthiness and human limitation. With every breath, I release the moment past that I might be wholeheartedly present right here and right now. And as you begin to bring your attention back to this time and place, aware of the seat that's supporting you, the breath that is enlivening the body. Feel this energy of lightness flooding every part of your being as it takes you effortlessly into whatever this day and the days to come. Bring into your divine order. Allow you to embrace and to release. And bring greater love into your life and into the world. And so it is, and so we allow it to be. Amen. So our invitation this week is to activate our spiritual powers of order and release, to open up all of the meridians of our being to this free flow of love, peace, and this journey of unfolding our highest potential. May you feel God's compassion and support every step of the journey.
On today's event, I decided to choose a song that some of you might actually know from way back. Some of you went to camp, and you sang around the campfire, and you had s'mores, and you might have even sung this song. So you can kind of pretend we're in the sanctuary, you've got a nice little campfire, and you're cooking your marshmallows and you're making your s'mores, setting off the water sprinklers, the sprinklers up ahead, and but anyway, this is a nice song, and it's for this occasion. It only takes a spark to get a fire going, and soon all those around can warm up in its glowing. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you spread God's love to everyone, want to pass it on. What a wondrous time is spring, when all the trees are budding. The birds begin to sing, the flowers start their blooming. That's how it is with God's love. Once you've experienced it, you spread God's love to everyone. You want to pass it on. I wish for you, my friend, this happiness that I have found. You can depend on God. It matters not where you're bound. I'll shout it from the mountaintop. I want my world to know the Lord of love is within us. All must pass it on. I'll shout it from the mountaintop. I want my world to know the Lord of love is within us. We all must pass it on. Thank you, folks, for coming.
Awesome. Thank you. I missed you. Oh, you know what? As with everything, there's always going to be a B, C, D, or Z plan. And today, we have two of our members of our scholarship team, due to unforeseen difficulties, are not here today. And so I wanted to share what is going to happen, okay? Especially with our we have outstanding scholarship recipients, just outstanding. And what I'm going to share is that we're going to give, there are Jasmine and Tiblets have their person here to introduce them. And the other two that could not be here, here's what I'm going to ask. And this is Matthew and Ava and David. Just think, if you had 3 minutes in the whole world to share what's made you who you are, that you would share that with us. Or what experience has you the who you are. Does that seem fair? Okay. That's called, I have had, and I've had a Z plan too. Recently, about 2 months ago, I went to the doctor's office, and when I got there, God had helped me get there. I couldn't get out of the car. So they called an ambulance, and at midnight, I had emergency surgery. Okay, those plans that I had for that day or unforeseen missed, okay? And so I understand how it happens. So if the wonderful recipients that I named, and don't worry, nobody's giving a grade, I promise you. It will be, and I'm a principal, been assistant superintendent, you are going to make 110. Okay, 110 each time. Okay, and what I'd like to do at this time is just share a little bit about the Reverend Carroll Record Recognition Program for scholarships. In honor of Reverend Carroll Record's 30th anniversary as pastor of the Center of Unity, in 2012, the Reverend Carroll Record Scholarship Fund was established based upon her love of children of all ages. And that even counts me. Okay? As of this year, the Reverend Carroll Record Scholarship Fund has provided 43 scholarships for the total amount of $83,800. And that wonderful applause, which should be a standing ovation, we extend our deepest gratitude to our wonderful members of the Center of Unity family, as well as the members of the Grapevine and Colleyville communities and other donors throughout the United States and some of the world. Now, our first recipient is going to be Matthew Bayless. And Matthew, if you'll just come here, because you notice that the instructions changed, didn't they? And we're just going to roll with the flow, and I'm going to get out of your way and let you share. And you may take your mask off while you're talking, because we want to see how handsome and beautiful our scholarship recipients are.
Thank you very much. All right, so I'm joined with my family over there in the first row. And so what's made me who I am today, I would have to say my family and our faith in God. I mean, like, when I was a little kid, I would always think that, like, going to church, I could have been doing something else. Like, I could have been playing with toys or watching TV or something like that. But every time I went, I always felt more fulfilled than anything else I would have been doing in my life. And I mean, I owe that all to God. And my family's had my back every step of the way throughout high school. And we've had our challenges and, like, injuries and, like, in athletics and taking AP classes, which has been kind of a roller coaster. But they've always had my back, and I'll always be grateful for that.
You know what? I think you could be a politician that's honest. Okay? And didn't he do a great job? Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you. And you can just, if you want to, you can sit on the sofa. Okay? Okay, now Miss Paula Thornton will introduce Jasmine, Ashley, and they'll come forward. You can come up this way if you think it's easier. Just watch your step. I've flown down those before.
Good morning, everyone. It's my pleasure to introduce this young lady, Jasmine Ashley. Her teacher has written so eloquently about her. I know that you're hoping to go to UT Austin.
Oh, I'm actually going to USC.
Oh, so in the form it said UT Austin, but there you go. That's why I thought I'd ask that question. Jasmine was number 3 in her class, has a GPA of 3.9, top SAT scores. Her teacher writes she has attained outstanding academic credentials, all the while committing to a rigorous athletic program, a varsity tennis player, since her freshman year, and she works part-time and volunteers as a youth leader at her church, where she received an honors award as a servant leader. Well done, that's wonderful. Her teacher writes, Jasmine's writing is stellar. Her speaking skills are exceptional. She's a poised and confident speaker who easily commands a room. I'm so grateful that the future of our world lies in the hands of young ladies like this, and young gentlemen, of course. She collaborates with others to get results. Last spring, UT Southwestern recognized her talent and dedication. She was selected out of 900 participants. 900 participants, think about that, to be part of the STARS research program. Now, unfortunately, that program was cancelled because of COVID, but the fact that she was chosen to participate in that prestigious program, I mean, it speaks volumes. It speaks volumes about you. Is there anything you'd like to add about yourself?
Well, I just want to, of course, extend my thanks for this extremely onerous occasion. I also just wanted to add that about my family who's over there, who's joining us today, that they've definitely helped me throughout my entire life, especially in high school and as I've been growing as a student and as a person. And I just want to say that I'm extremely grateful for all their support and for, of course, the scholarship. It's very, I'm extremely grateful, and this is a huge honor. Thank you so much.
And Jasmine needs the scholarship because she's hoping to go on and do her master's in chemical engineering and possibly minoring in environmental studies. Yes, so that's wonderful. Jasmine.
Okay, now we have Ava. If Ava would come forward. Now, you notice I didn't pronounce her last name. Okay, no one pronounces my first name either when they introduce me. So I'm going to let you give your first and last name, and then again, you get to have the opportunity that Matthew did to tell a little bit as to what events in your life made a great difference.
Hi, I'm Ava Salamone. That's how you pronounce my last name.
Say that again.
Salamone. Okay, got it. I'm a senior at Grapevine High School. I also want to first start off by saying a huge thank you to Reverend Carol and just this whole entire scholarship committee for giving me this scholarship. It's a huge honor, and I'm really grateful. A couple of things that have made me who I am. I was very different whenever I was a freshman in high school, so getting involved in my church was incredibly important in my life. That has become one of the most important places that I go to. I love volunteering. I love kids. I volunteer with kids ages kindergarten through 8th grade and help them in just small groups and middle school ministries and all of that type of stuff. And that has been a huge factor in what has changed my life. And also it has led me to decide to work with kids in my future. That's a huge dream of mine. In whatever job I end up working in, I would love to do that. So being able to be just a part of like youth ministry for children has really impacted my life. And yeah, so I have definitely gone through a lot to get to where I am today, and being a rigorous student and getting grades that have taken a lot of hard work has also changed my life. So yeah, I just wanted to say a huge thank you. I'm really honored to be here and to be accepting this scholarship. And I'm looking forward to meeting with all of you after this and just having a huge thank you for giving me this money.
Thank you, and you just have a seat right over there. Okay. Now then, Sharon Crowder, if you'll come forward with tablets. And Tiblets, I hope I pronounced that correctly. It is Tiblets, and I've been in education for over centuries, and so I have never heard that first name. And Sharon, would you tell us a little bit about her?
I will. And I want to tell you Every single young person that was awarded is remarkable, and I do really mean that. Some of them are more modest and won't tell you all of their stunning achievements, but those of us who are introducing can do that. So, I want to talk about Ms. Tiblitz Abreja. She is a May of 2021 graduating senior at Grapevine High School and a recipient of the Reverend Carroll Record Scholarship. She has an impressive 3.62 GPA on a 4.0 scale. She will attend the University of North Texas in the fall. On Friday, as I was watching Channel 5 News, I was quite surprised to see Tiblet was featured on there and her whole story. She also is a Wingstop Scholar Athlete scholarship recipient. Tiblet's plans to major in the field of physical therapy because it allows people to recover to their normal or better condition. She has accomplished so very much. She works at Market Street Grocery and also volunteers at the Union Gospel Mission and the Grapevine High School Ecology Center. As a member of the National Honor Society, she also volunteers as one component of her membership in the Honor Society. In addition to working, volunteering, and maintaining a superior record of academic achievement, Tiblitz participates in high school and church choir, cross country, and track and field. The truly remarkable part of her story is that she is an unaccompanied refugee minor who has been in a Catholic Charities foster care program since July of 2015. She comes originally from Eritrea. She has been in 3 foster care homes and schools and has learned English as well as adapting to many challenges with excellence. Did I see you wiping your eyes, Reverend Carroll? Yeah, I'm wiping mine. Has learned English as well as adapting to many challenges with excellence, patience, optimism, and confidence. It is an honor to recognize her achievements with the Reverend Carroll Record Scholarship. Good heavens.
My English is not that great, but I would like to say thank you. And I have my dad, mom, and sister over there who have helped me throughout. And I would like, I'm so sorry. I'm so honored to be here and to receive this scholarship, and I would like really thank you.
I am also going to tell you about another recipient who couldn't be here today, but Ms. Taryn Wright will graduate from Grapevine High School in the spring of 2021. She has a 4.7892 on a 4.0 scale and an SAT composite score of 1100. Taryn has been accepted at Texas A&M University, Stephen F. Austin University, and the University of Texas at Arlington. She plans to major in biomedical science because she has an overwhelming desire to help others, and as a Black female, she wishes to increase minority representation in the medical field. Ultimately, she plans to attend physician's assistant school. She has worked as a hostess at Cotton Patch before the pandemic ended that job, and now she's a hostess and lead trainer at Red Robin. Her volunteer activities include being a STEM ambassador at her school for 5 to 10 hours per week. She has volunteered at her local church. She's been a member of her high school's varsity dance team for the past 4 years. Taryn and those who recommend her describe her as tenacious, adaptable, and open-minded, as well as resilient and goal-focused. It is my pleasure to award her the Reverend Carroll Record Scholarship to assist her in achieving her goals.
Sharon. And I know David is saying, hey, wait, come on up, David. And David, would you share with us what? Yes, you've had a little time to think too, had you? This is good. And would you share maybe something that in your life that has made you the successful person that you are?
I'd first like to thank my mom, dad, and sister for being here. I couldn't do without you and all your unconditional love and support.
And give them your last name, because I was afraid.
Oh,
I was afraid to say it.
my last name is Erig. Perfect. I go to Grapevine High School. I'm a senior. I'll be graduating in May. I'll be going to Vanderbilt to study economics in the fall of 2021. I think the biggest part in my life that has helped is understanding how the role of perspective plays. Perspective is such a key role because we all face challenges in our life, but it's how we view those challenges and grow is what makes us as a person. And I understood that around my junior year when I quit baseball, because baseball was my key element in my life and it surrounded everything I did. But after quitting and having to discover who I was, it was really important to understand perspective and growing in that aspect. And I wanted to thank all of you for this amazing opportunity.
Now, aren't you glad you weren't on the committee? I mean, each one of these young people, all six, even though Tara couldn't be here, all six were absolutely outstanding. And you also hear the depth of where they are. And that is what is amazing, that they do have such greater depth and understanding and knowing. And now another person with a lot of depth, understanding, and love is our own Miss Reverend Carol Record, if you'll come forward.
She was talking about names. I called her June Rhea for the first 10 years I knew her, but I finally understood it was Ganera, Dr. Burgess. I think very often we think of the young people as our future, but you are now also. As I have observed these young people, I have found them to be very well-rounded. They are blending their academics, their work, their athletics, their family time, their hobbies, their churches, their volunteering, and they're doing all of that right now. And I just feel like a slouch when I hear all that you're doing. We thank you very much. These young people are not only teachers to us, they're examples. To me, they're examples of all that is right in the world. I would like now to ask their sponsors and parents, those who are here with them, and family members, if you would stand so we could recognize you. Thank you, because we truly know that it's a journey for the young people, and it takes the village, and you are the key components of the village. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are giving you advice right now. Everyone knows what's best for you. Well, I've got my own. First of all, remember yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, thank you, and please are always important. Remember to laugh often. If it'll be funny in 50 years, it's funny now. So find the opportunity to laugh. Forgive yourself and forgive others continually. Trust your gut and be the best you can be. The world doesn't need a carbon copy of you. It simply needs you to be all that you are designed to be. Remember that you're never alone. There's a higher power that I call God that is always with you. And that wisdom and love of God will guide you as you allow it to. And then text messages are important. And I realized that my mother must have dropped me here when I was about 5 because I served the church for 36 years. But we like text messages, but some of us in the other generation, we just need to hear your voices. So remember to call. If you're going out of town and living perhaps on campus, remember to stay in touch verbally. We just need to hear your voices sometime. So call your family members. It matters to us. I'm so very grateful, first of all, for the Center of Unity and all that you do to provide these scholarships for the young people of our community. Margaret Mead said, "Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it is the only thing that ever has." The congregation of the Center of Unity has very faithfully given to the Reverend Carol Record Scholarship Fund, which was a complete surprise to me some 9 years ago. The young people who receive these awards make a difference. I see a physical therapist, so I look forward to finding you when my knee hurts in about 10 years. Economics, someone coming to a new country and being willing to risk and to care and to love and to be. You have faced many things that certainly I have never faced, and you've done it so brilliantly, so lovingly, and with such excellence. So on behalf of the Center of Unity, we love you, we bless you, we appreciate you, and we believe in you. And wherever you go, a very small part of us goes with you. We're grateful for who you are now and who you will show up to be every day of your life. God, I just pause right now to say thank you. Thank you for these young people. Thank you for their families, their sponsors. Thank you for their churches and temples, their mosque, their places of spiritual worship. We thank you for their lives, for the friends who have touched them along the way, and for those with whom they will share the next part of their journey. We know, God, that as they go forward, they trust your wisdom, they trust your guidance, and as they do, they will be led in ways that are right and perfect for them. We know that they will continue to apply themselves and that they will enjoy all that is offered to them each and every day. We are so very blessed, God, to be a part of the journey of these young people, and we're ever, ever grateful that our lives have touched. Thank you, God. Amen. And finally, I hope you will remember not to let the entire staircase overwhelm you. Just focus on the next step. So on behalf of the Reverend Carol Record Scholarship Fund, and in appreciation of the congregation of the Center of Unity and the committee who so faithfully works on this, we would like to present to you now your envelopes. These envelopes will tell you how to access your scholarship funds. Absolutely. Stand up. Absolutely. The world is in good hands with these young people and others like them. Congratulations, and thank you for being here.
If you will, let's all give a standing ovation for these outstanding leaders. Thank you. Oh,
Thank you. And we're hoping that we'll hear from you and hear how the journey's going. We know it'll be fabulous. Thank you again.
And you get to sit down for a little bit with your family. Again, we are so thrilled with the applicants that we had this year. They're absolutely superb, and we'll be looking for them in the wonderful columns that are coming ahead in the newspaper and in our world. Thank you so much, and you may go and be with your family, okay? Thank you.
One last order of business here. It is our custom to appreciate someone who has made a really big contribution every week. And today it is with pleasure I honor Dr. Ganera Burgess, who has truly
See what a wonderful place Center of Unity is. Isn't that wonderful? Thank you.
she's given her all.
Absolutely. Now, Reverend Linda, we can turn it back over to you.
Well, we just got one more order of business here. We're going to sing the peace song. You want to stay up here and sing the peace song
Oh,
with
I
us?
would love
Because this woman
to.
can sing, too, in addition to all of her
Oh,
other
yes.
talents.
She's our choir director as well. As soon as we get a choir, we'll put her back to action.
All right, whenever we're ready. We'd like for you to...
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as our Father, family all are we. Let me walk with my family in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
And so as we go into this week celebrating all of the wonderful opportunities that each of us have, we go knowing our prayer for protection together. The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. And the presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Have a beautiful week, everyone. Congratulations once again.
Here's what's coming up at Center of Unity. Be sure to stop by the bookstore to take advantage of this month's 10% discount on the book, What If It All Goes Right? Creating a New World of Peace, Prosperity, and Possibility by Mindy Odlin. Have you been craving social interaction with your church buddies? Now's your opportunity. Come one, come all to the Outdoor Volunteer Fair. We'll have hot dogs and other culinary delights, prizes, music, dancing, and all manner of fun. Come prepared to sign up for a volunteer position and to have a great afternoon. The good times begin after service on May 23rd, so mark your calendar and be sure to be here for this great time. Tuesdays from 6:30 to 8 p.m., Michelle Accardo hosts the Compassionate Communication Group on Zoom. We'll practice nonviolent communication by receiving empathy and getting clear on feelings, needs, and making doable requests. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Remember to join us at Rio Mambo in Colleyville at 3 p.m. today for our Sunday Fellowship and Fun, where we'll enjoy some in-person fellowship and good food. Every Sunday, we gather on Zoom before church to say hi and catch up. Come join us from 10 to 10:25 a.m. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Adult Sunday School meets after church on Zoom from 12 to 12:45 p.m. Be sure to join us as we discuss today's message. All are welcome to join. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. Join Reverend Linda every Tuesday at 11:30 a.m. for the Metaphysical Bible Interpretation class, where we refocus our attention on the good that God is making available to us now. Each class is self-contained. The Zoom ID is on the screen, or you can access it from our website or the COU app. There are multiple ways you can make a donation to Center of Unity. You can drop your donation off at the church, mail it to our P.O. Box, visit our website, use the COU or Venmo app, or you can text 817-606-8768 and follow the prompts. Your continued support is greatly appreciated.